Welcome to the LFG Pats Pod with your hosts, Joe and Mike. Let's go!
Hey, be violent, man. Be smart, but when in doubt, crash the out. It's us versus them, man. Ain't nobody like us. Ain't nobody believe in us. I like us, man. Go lay it on the line for your brother, man. Hey, this is what we grind for. Every man in this room, man. Every man in this huddle. Leave it on him. Bill, I ain't come this far just to come this far. Treat every play like it's your last. Today about being aggressive and sticking together, and we're gonna take what we want, man. Hey, I came to fight. I don't know about y'all, but I came to fight. From play 1 to play 9. We all we got. We all we need. Play hard, play smart. Offense, let's go beat us. Defense, special teams. If it don't got a blue jersey on, take that. Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3.
It's your hype boy right
Let's
there.
fucking go, boys. Oh my God. Oh, it hits me every time. I get the goosebumps. I just want to start hitting the locker, you know?
He's been hyping them up like that all year long, man. He's like the offensive spokesman. He's the hype guy for the offense this whole season, and they have responded. So I love it, man. I love it.
I love it too. Welcome in, boys. This is episode 45. We never thought we'd be shooting a Super Bowl episode, but here we are, Super Bowl 60, boys. We're in Santa Clara. We are representing. Everybody hates us. Everyone thinks we have no shot. I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. Patrick Surtain, all kinds of people talking a ton of shit, and I got a problem with them, and I got something to tell them, boys. We're back, and we're here, and we're going to make a game out of this. We got special guest Aiden, so we thought it was very fitting. Aiden was our first interview this year, our first year of the podcast. We said, Aiden, we met him in the parking lot. He was the first fan that reached out to us where we wanted to meet up at Pat's training camp. And so we interviewed him. It was kind of hysterical because we were testing out some new equipment. So we had a 5-minute interview. The whole audio of the first half of the 5 minutes was completely lost. We had new equipment. And so we had him on the podcast the next week. So, but anyways, Aiden
I remember that day. Yeah. It seems like forever ago.
Dude, it seems like years ago. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So welcome, Aiden.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. It's now for the third time.
Yeah.
How you feeling? How you feeling, Aiden? You feeling good for this week? For tomorrow, we're right on the precipice.
I'm feeling great. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be as bad as people think it is. I mean, I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and she said, born and raised New England Patriots fan, like, we're going to get walloped. No, we're not. This is going to be a great back and forth game, whether it's defensively or offensively. Both teams have a chance. I'm not surprised at what happens either way. And I was talking to Mike. This game is going to be I was talking to Joe. This game is going to be won in the trenches. Sneaky pick for Super Bowl MVP. Milton Williams going up against one of the worst pass blocking guards in the league, and Anthony Bradford. I mean, he has a shot.
Absolutely. I noticed. I'm sure you guys are noticing Joe's Super Bowl apparel. He's got the what is that? Is that the zip up that they got going on?
Yeah. So I was Wednesday night. My company had a corporate event at Splitsville, so we all went bowling, had a few drinks. Had some fun, but before that I hit the pro shop up, and this just so happens they had these on the rack. Being a season ticket holder, I got 15% off. So I mean, still it was like $135, but these things sold out online in like 2 seconds, and so I was shocked that they probably had like 20 of them, which I was shocked. They must have like just stocked them because like I said, online they sold out within like 2 hours.
Joe, I'm surprised you didn't buy up at least 15 of that stock.
They had a pair of sweatpants that matched, and so it was $165 for the top and $145 for the sweatpants, and I was like, I can't drop $300 on a sweatsuit. So I just got this because this is nice because I can wear it to work, like I can wear it over like a nice button down and stuff. So
and you look like Drake May. So you're good,
man. I'm styling. I love it. So all right, boys, we got a big episode. There's no there's no surprise what we're talking about today. We're talking about the matchup between the Seahawks and the Patriots. Fuck the offseason. Fuck what happened to get us here. We're talking about this game. And we're talking about all the pundits. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Before we get into that, though, we have to talk about our sponsors. So, cool thing about Aiden, one of our sponsors, Rogue Island, he now works there. So Aiden, yeah, so Aiden's in the kitchen.
See,
Aiden's
it's all circular,
it
all
all
comes
comes full
around.
circle.
Yep.
Yeah, so Aiden attends a local Providence. I won't give, I don't want Aiden getting doxxed over here, but he's at a local college and he's working in the kitchen, and he's doing great over there. But Rogue Island Kitchen and Bar, I was talking to him before the pod. We're going to have a Super Bowl event. I think we're going to have a draft event. Super Bowl is kind of tough. Everyone picks, am I going to watch it at home? Am I going to watch it at a friend's house? A lot of people watching house parties. So we don't want to throw an event, put all this effort in to have a smaller turnout. But we're going to do a draft night. I feel like a lot of people are interested in the draft. Might have the 32nd pick, might have the 31st pick. We'll find out.
Hopefully it's 32.
So yeah, so Rogue Island guys, if you're in Providence, right now it's kind of tough with all the snow. We got more like 5-6 inches of snow on top of the snow that didn't melt yet. So it's not great, but when it clears up and you're in Providence, check it out. It's just amazing food. We talk about it every single show. And I work in Providence now, so I'm in there at least once every 2 weeks.
And he loves it. He loves every minute of it.
Exactly. So Rogue Island, check it out. And then our other sponsor, Horizon HVAC, guys. So with all this HVAC and heating right now that you guys are pumping through your houses, you got to make sure this stuff's working. And if it's not your heating, it's your AC that goes. There's always something that's a problem. If you don't look into it, you don't get it checked out. Give Horizon HVAC a call. Mike Cesaroni, I went to high school with him. The guy's a phenom. He's all over social media. Check him out. He's on Instagram. He's on all these socials, and the guy's a businessman. He owns a ton of investment properties. He owns this business. He has a construction company, but he does great work, and he owns all those businesses for a reason. So give him a call and set up your services. So all right, so. Aiden, you were talking about this earlier, and I really want to lead in with this because I think you're right. I think, our defensive line is probably one of the most unique in the NFL in that we have the top two pressure guys in the NFL. I mean, we got Milton Williams, we got Barmore. How do you see this playing out? How do you see this playing out with our defenders on the line?
Once again, I think this game's going to be won or lost in the trenches on both sides. I was watching something, I think it was last night, and they were talking about how one team's strength is also the opposition strength on the other side. So like if our rush defense is absolutely insane, but so is their rushing attack. So it's going to be a very back and forth game. For the past few days, I've been comparing it either to Super Bowl 53 or Super Bowl, I believe, 57. Chiefs and Eagles first edition. Either going to be back and forth defense, back and forth offense. Again, sneaky Super Bowl MVP pick, even though they will not give it to him as defensive tackle, Milton Williams. I could see going again offensively back and forth, defensively back and forth. It's going to be a great game. We've seen 3 incredible defensive games in the playoffs so far, so I'm really hoping for an offensive shootout just to change it up. But obviously, we won 3 games in a row, but with our defense. So if it works, it works.
Mike, what do you think? How do you think we match up defensive line wise against their offensive line?
I think it's favorable. I got to be honest with you. That just like what he said, the key to it is the interior pressure right down Darnold's throat. I equate it to like the blueprint, the Giants blueprint against Tom Brady in Super Bowl, whichever one they lost in 2007.
Pick your poison,
yeah, they were rushing 4, and those 2 interior linemen were moving Brady off of his spot all day long, and you couldn't get comfortable. This is the same exact deal. I know Seattle has a lot of good players and a lot of matchups that go to their favor, but this one in particular speaks to our favor because we have 2 of the best interior rushers in the league, and their interior line is suspect at best. Like that right guard is trash. He's like always on like one of the worst ever lists for the season, and the center and the other guard aren't that great either. So if we can get pressure up the middle and then maybe run Spillane behind them and go over the top and just rattle the guy and make him move away. If you make Sam Darnold run, he's going to make a bad decision. So I think Zach Kerr, he's going to want to go nuts. He's going to want to blitz a lot, and he's not wrong because it's happened time and time again in the playoffs that his blitzes have worked. Normally they'll burn you, but they're working out for us now. So I think he's going to dial some stuff up, but I would like to at least see at the beginning to see what they do against our 4-man front and see if we can dominate that way or not. And if not, if that doesn't work, we can start bringing extra guys. But I have a good feeling about the interior line matchup in this game specifically.
I agree. I think some of the things I was reading, Pete Collins has a great article kind of explaining the matchups and what with Kenneth Walker, right? Because I do think how we contain Kenneth Walker will set the tone of this game. Pete Collins showed when you stack the box against Kenneth Walker, he's actually better, right? And it kind of makes sense because he's a sneaky, fast, get to the boundary player. And so he can break it outside, and he's, like I said, he's deceptively fast. You think he's a power guy, and then he hits the outside corner. And if your guys are too close to the line, he can separate. And that guy, he's a home run hitter.
And there's no second level at that point.
Exactly. And it's great because I think we match up really well because we don't stack the box very often, right? Unless it's deep into our territory, unless it's short yardage situations. You're not going to see a lot of stacked boxes against us. You're going to see 4, maybe 5 up front, and then 4 of them are going to go, and one of them is going to drop back, right? So I feel like from that situation where we need to neutralize Kenneth Walker, which with Milton Williams and Spillane we've done it, right? We've proven this. This is very proven. We at the beginning of the season we wouldn't have said this, right? We were really concerned about it, but there's tape out there of us shutting down marquee players like marquee running backs and offensive lines. So I don't think they're going to get push on us. And I think, this team also lost week 5 to the Bucs, right? 35-38. So one, you can score on this team, but also they can get scored on. I mean, their more recent games, they played a lot better. But they were in some tight matchups. They lost in week 11 to the Rams. They gave up 24 to the Titans in week 12. I mean, some of these games are just like, are they? I mean, they're good, but are they unbeatable? I don't know.
No, not at all, man. That's
right.
That's the hype. That's the hyperbole that's been going on for the past 2 weeks. The Seahawks are all of a sudden way better in everybody's eyes than they were in the regular season. How are they so much better than us? We had a historic run going against all these top defenses, and our defense dominated everybody. I just can't figure it out, Joe. Like, they want to have the cake and eat it too. They want it both ways, and both ways screw the Patriots. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable.
Sorry, Joe. People pick us to lose every game, and then they say we have an easy schedule. Like, pick one.
Right. Yeah.
You have to pick something, man. And everybody backtracks. These pundits have been backtracking for weeks now. Oh, talk to me when they get to the playoffs. Oh, okay. He won a playoff game. Talk to me when he wins a conference title. Oh, he won a conference title.
Right.
And then talk to me when he wins a Super Bowl. You'd be throwing flowers at anybody else that made it like this far, but there's still the people, the detractors out there that are saying, all right, fine. Then talk to me when he wins the Super Bowl. I'm like, are you out of your mind? How many people get so much cred just for making a Super Bowl?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The Bengals made it a couple years ago, and they're still being deified for it. Like everybody freaking so like, hey, that was a Super Bowl team, so they can come back to that mojo. But but people aren't even willing to give us the credit that we actually made it. It's freaking ridiculous.
It's laughable. It really is. You have to harken back to the Brady days, right? This is Brady Belichick. This is everyone's worst nightmare. Let's face it. This is everybody's worst nightmare. They don't want to see this again, especially this early. Everyone expected us to win 8 or 9 games. That was kind of the floor, right? Everyone said, "Oh, with that schedule, they got a lot of improved players. Drake May, second year, Vrabel, McDaniels, right? 8, 9 wins." And that was everyone was okay with stomaching that, right? They were like, all right, that's kind of palatable for us. You and I, Mike, were saying 10, 11 wins, right? We got called rose colored, we got called, homers, whatever. Fine, that's fine. But when you win 14 games in the NFL, there ain't no fucking
no, that's not luck, bro. That's not
and no
luck.
matter who you play, you can't go on a win streak of what was it? 10, 11 games in a row and
undefeated on the road. You don't go undefeated on the road. You just don't do that as a bad team. You can't.
No matter who you play.
Yeah. It's laughable. It really is. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about it. What I'm not excited about and what we have to talk about it is Tom Brady. And he's flip-flopped
he walked
a little
it
bit.
back though.
He did. He unfollowed the Patriots. Then 4 hours later, he followed them again on Instagram. And oh, by the way, then he put out RKK, of course I back you. And like, dude, come on. It took Brewski, Will Fork, and all these guys calling you out, like including every single one of your fans, for you to back us. You didn't even call Drake May this week. Like I heard Peyton Manning called him and fucking Brady didn't. Like, come on, dude. This is a bad look. I get it. You're butthurt about not being an owner, and you probably did want to be an owner. And I do blame Kraft for that to an extent. But what about all your fans? What about the statue we just put up in Gillette Stadium that we all have to walk by now because now we have to think, oh, this guy doesn't even want us to win the Super Bowl. Bullshit. I call bullshit. What do you think, Aiden?
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, all that plays into it, and you're right, Joe. You raised a very interesting point about him so-called getting snubbed for Patriots ownership. I don't know how that story went, but the thing is that, and we've talked about it. They said no to Tom, but then they went and sold a portion of it to an investment firm. So basically, that portion that could have been sold to Tom went to an investment firm. Kraft made a very conscious decision to do that, without going too much further down the rabbit hole. I'm sure that rubbed Brady wrong. First of all, he's like, all right, fine. I don't want to get into bed with this guy business-wise anyway. But then there's also the other factors that everybody talks about, which is, oh, he's part owner of the Raiders. He's a commentator. He has to toe the line. Like all this stuff. And it's like, dude, none of that matters. We just erected a statue for you. And,
right.
And you go off and say, I don't have a dog in this fight. And then you're so fragile egotistically that once you get all kinds of backlash from that, now he's walking it back and telling Bob Kraft that you can get, let's do it. Let's match up Super Bowls and whatnot. It's like, Tommy, you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. Okay, it's already out. So we as Patriots fan, Patriots Nation, we don't know how to help you, Tom. Seriously.
Yeah, you just can't handle that we're good without him, I guess.
Oh, well, one interesting thing I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was an article saying that Mike Vrabel reached out to Belichick, and he actually received that, and they had a communication, and I thought that was weird. And I think it was on one of the reputable. I think it was on Patriots.com or maybe NBC Sports Boston, but it was on a reputable site, and they said that he reached out to him and he gave him some advice. I'm very interested to see if Yeah, I'm interested to see if that's an actual thing, given Belichick's animosity towards the Patriots right now, which is completely misguided, by the way. But it would be interesting to see if that actually manifested, because that would have been pretty cool.
I agree. And maybe that played into because Vrabel, I guess, at a practice recently, it was today or yesterday, he had them practice for a certain amount of time and then go back into the locker room for 14 minutes while they played Bad Bunny like in the stadium or something. They're trying to simulate the long halftime, right? I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe that was a suggestion by Bill. Who knows, right? Bill's like, hey, just FYI, this, I found this to help. Maybe they did it at the Falcons Super Bowl. Who knows, when they came back and scored all those points. But yeah, no, that whole triad of Bill, Brady, and Kraft we're going to be talking about that forever. It's just
wax dynamics, crazy dynamics going
it
there.
is. And it's just one of those things we're never going to get the full story. So we're left here to just talk about it. We're left here to pontificate and try to figure out what the hell happened and how did we get here when he says, I don't have a dog in the fight. Like that's a slap. It's a slap in the face. It really is.
There's no way he can't be secretly rooting either for or against us, whether it be because he's, again, upset that we're good without him or because he is a New Englander for life.
For him saying that, I think maybe it speaks to his IQ a little bit because, yeah, he's a very bright guy, but sometimes he's not he tries to be most self-aware as he possibly can. But saying something like that, like he just thought it was like a good cliche term to say, I'm aloof. I'm politically neutral when it comes to this stuff. But he just the choice of words was poor, just
they call that EQ, right? His IQ is high, but his EQ right there was very low. Like you didn't read the room enough to say that was a bad choice. Like, exactly. I'm sorry, like every single person in New England is looking to see what you say. And if you just basically don't go on either side of the fence and you just sit on the fence, like that's gonna piss off everybody. That's exactly what it did. I don't know how he didn't
probably has to. He probably has to do this. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you again. He probably has to do this, whether it be because of his Raiders ownership or because of his Fox broadcasting.
Maybe. I
Maybe.
don't know. I hope so.
Tommy's going to be the next president of America. That's your next president because he talks out both sides of his mouth.
I wish, if that was the case, I wish he said, listen, as part owner, I can't have a say, and then wink at people. That's what the fuck I would do. If I was obligated, I would be like, listen, I can't technically have a dog in this fight, but if I did, wink. That's it. Leave it at that. Call it a day. But regardless, enough about Tom Brady. He's not playing the Super Bowl.
Absolutely enough.
He's not playing this one. We're gonna have Drake May. Let's talk about Drake May. What do we expect, Mike? You tell me what you expect out of Drake May today. Are we going to get a slow start, Drake May? Are we going to get a hot fire? Coming out hot, Drake May? What are we getting?
I think these things are entirely based on the game plan that Josh cooks up. And we all know how unpredictable that can be. So I expect personally for them to come out hot, be aggressive with the play calling, not run, pass, punt, run, pass, punt. I'm hoping that they do a bunch of run, play action, pass, things of that nature. But I think we can get out to a good start early, depending on Josh's first 15. And once the Seahawks defense figures us out as the game goes on, I think it's going to get tougher and tougher for them. And for Drake specifically, he has a lot to prove. I feel bad putting all this pressure on this 23-year-old kid, and I know he feels it. But the pressure is real. It's palpable. It's tangible. It is there. That pressure is real for you to perform. You went to the pinnacle of the sport and you struggled along the way. And looking at granted, we faced great defenses. Don't get me wrong. What, 3 top 5 defenses in the playoffs? The playoff
Yep.
run, yeah. So he did not acquit himself very nicely in regard to all of that. He made a lot of boneheaded mistakes, and I think we can all agree that his internal clock wasn't really operating optimally in any of those games.
At least the first two. Denver, I felt pretty good. The first two, not so much.
Yeah, but so what I saw in the regular season was this man having a mastery in the pocket, which is why he fell 1 vote short of MVP. But that's another conversation. But he needs to get back to his internal clock was off. So I think that can be coached, and they can tell him, look, take 1 less step. Maybe not, you're taking a 5-step, maybe take a 4-step or a 3-step and go back. But that goes to Josh too. Josh has to get him the guys open so he can do that. So I would like to see a little bit more dink and dunk here. I know it's not Drake May's forte or expertise, but he can do all the long balls he wants next year, okay? But right now, I'm trying to win a game. So in order to win the damn game, I think that we need to do a bunch of inside passing. They're going to take away Stephon Diggs. They're going to double Diggs. I'm telling you that right now. So I think a Hunter Henry could have a big game in the seams and work in the middle of the field, stuff like that. So if they do the quick game, Joe, the Brady offense, 3 steps and drop, 3 steps and drop, and just freaking wing it. Given his release point was like what 2.8 seconds from the snap
at most.
So he had like an elite time from when he got the ball to when he released it, and I think Drake May needs to develop a little more of those qualities. I'm not asking him to reinvent the wheel. It's the last game of the season, but they just need to. Josh needs to give him better plays where you can get the ball out quicker. That's the bottom line.
I'm with you. Did you see the quote from Ashton Grant by any chance, the QB coach? So Ashton Grant said he made a comment to me at practice this week about the weather, and it just made me laugh. He was like, Ashton, I can put the ball wherever I want in this weather. So this is Drake May saying to his quarterback coach, he's confident in this weather. And I don't disagree. I mean, we saw it earlier in the season, right? Could it be a cold weather thing? Could it be? And this, I'm not saying he doesn't perform well in cold weather, because
I think that's
half,
absolutely real, dude. I think that's real, man.
I think it's partially real, but then we're also the only team other than Jacoby Brissett to throw for 3 touchdowns against the Texans in the second half. So he threw absolute dimes to Diggs, to Booty, and to Douglas, to Pop Douglas.
Yeah.
Tight window throws, balls that they can't be an inch or 2 in any other direction, or they're going to get picked or dropped. So to me, he's proven he can do it. But how's he going to come out? I think, Aiden, what do you think? What do you think they're going to do? You think we're going to up-tempo, short stuff? Or you think we're going to take some shots deep? What do you think we're going to do?
So I totally agree with Mike. I think it's going to be a lot about what not just 1, but 2 coaches of the year do for the first script of the game. We could see something like we saw against Denver, where we have 2, maybe 3 3-and-outs in a row before we finally get even kind of settled in. Or we could see something where he goes and he lights up that Seattle defense, which, just for a quick second, I think we see a lot of shadowing out of them. Like, I think we see a lot of Devon Witherspoon on Stephon Diggs and Eamon Warrior on Hunter Henry and DeMarcus Lawrence rushing against Morgan Moses. But it's all about the script. I think Drake May is going to be. This is probably going to be the best version of Drake that we've seen it up to this point. Because again, the weather. There's no snow, which I think is his biggest problem up to this point. I don't think the cold has anything to do with it really.
You think you
But
think it's the wetness of the ball and stuff, smaller
yeah.
hands, right?
I just remember
Mhm.
seeing him after the AFC Championship game, and the look on his face, it looked like his face was literally gonna fall off of his body. He did not look like a happy camper, and I had attributed it to his shoulder injury. I thought it was that, but looking back on it, I was like, no, the kid was just too cold. That's just the bottom line.
Mhm.
Fair point. Yeah, and here's one thing that I want to see too. Aiden and I were chatting a little bit before. He thought the pod was at 8, so him and I were on for like half an hour, basically having a pre-podcast before the podcast. But we were talking about these edge rushers. Their defensive line has some talent for sure, more power than speed. They have some finesse guys, but they're not like speed like Chason, or they're not like Nick Benito or any of these guys that we faced, right? So to me, I would love to see Drake May work the edges a little more. They've had him be more of a pocket passer, right? What if we had him rolling out? What if I said this a lot the last game, and obviously it wasn't the game for it, given the conditions. Very limited playbook, which I think if anything that helps us, right? You had a game where it was very limited playbook, where you didn't get to see too much. Like, imagine watching that Broncos tape and being like, what can I take out of this? I would just scrap it and be like, let's go look at another game, because it was a completely different style game than it's going to be in Santa Clara. Pats Bro, shout out to Pats Bro. Here we fucking go, boys. I agree all day long.
Yeah.
But I would love to see them boot him out a little bit, get him out in space.
Well, they did it in the beginning of the season, and then they went away from it because they were so impressed with his pocket presence.
Yep.
But in this game, no holds barred, dude. You got to dig into the hole,
unleash the playbook, man. Unleash
it. And Drake's legs, you can't rule it out. You have to take that into consideration. They're gonna have to spy Drake. I wouldn't mind if he tucks and runs a bunch of times, man.
Right. Win or go home.
It always works out. It always works out, especially if he's not seeing what he likes to see. So he has done a much better job of like remaining a passer. But in this type of game where anything goes, I think he should duck and run at the first sign of trouble.
I'm with you.
I think you can have some open field and chunk up some yardage that way, as long as they're not getting spied on them. I don't know if they're going to spy Drake. I'm not sure.
I don't think Ernest Jones is a great linebacker. I don't think they want him to spy. I think they want him out in coverage.
See? So if everybody's looking somewhere else, Drake can eat,
Or because we saw the coverage all week about cover 6, and what's cover 6? It's this crazy defense that's gonna like ruin everybody, and Drake May sucks against it, and blah blah blah. It's like, guys, someone's gonna be in the flat. Okay, you identify who's covering the flat. All right. Well, if I'm Drake May and I'm rolling out to that side, if that's gonna be an edge rusher and someone's covering the flat, I'd love to see someone put that edge rusher in a position where he has to make a choice against covering Drake May's run or covering a receiver, a tight end, or a running back leaking out into the flat. I'll take that matchup 10 times out of 10. I'll take because you're going to have someone in a deep quarter or a deep half. Pick your poison. If it's going to be a cover 4 on that side, probably a cover 4 if it's a Sam, and just let him make that play. I'll take it. I'll put that ball in Drake May's hands and make him make that decision. Like I said, 10 times out of 10. This defense is very beatable. This team gives up yards. It gives up big plays. It does not give up as many scores. But let's face it. I think this team, in my opinion, I think this team could have their backs up against the wall if our defense plays like it's been playing. I mean, we've let up what, Mike? An average of 8 or 9 points in the playoffs. Something ridiculous.
Wasn't it like wasn't it like
something like that?
It's like 8.7 or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like this team has been absolutely elite on defense, and I don't care who they're playing. Oh, CJ Stroud sucks. Apparently, Justin Herbert doesn't suck because he got a fucking MVP vote. So you got MVP caliber Justin Herbert, which I think is hysterical, absolutely
And CJ
hysterical.
Stroud didn't suck until he played us. Like, yeah, he
Yeah,
was not like an elite quarterback, but he wasn't by any means bad.
no, give me a fucking break. So we talked about Drake May. Let's talk about this Seattle secondary because I think it's interesting. I think the matchups are really interesting. Aiden, how do you think we're going to choose to beat this from a receiving standpoint? Who do you think's going to step up
Um,
in this game?
so I think again it's going to be a lot of shadowing. Probably Devon Witherspoon, Stephon Diggs, probably Reek Woolen, Kayshawn Booty, probably Eamon Warren, Hunter Henry. So it's probably going to be someone like Pop Douglas or Kyle Williams or Mac Hollins is going to have to step up. Maybe even Austin Hooper. I mean, obviously those guys they're beatable, but they're still some of the best corners in the league. I was looking at the rankings earlier before we jumped on, and I think Julian Love was like top was 19, and Kobe Bryant was 32, like safety ranks, and then you have two top 20 cornerbacks. I think Devon Witherspoon was like 12 and Rico was 19. Like obviously rankings aren't going to be great because I think it was PFF, but still it gives you a general idea of how good that secondary is.
Yeah, there's
So
no
again, I think
superstars, but they're all good.
right.
They're all
Yeah,
good
Devon
players.
Witherspoon is nasty.
And they're coached
Um,
very well. All right. This is
right.
McDonald's defense. They, ex-Ravens guy back when he was with them. They were absolutely elite. So yeah, it's they're coached well and they're all good players at minimum, good players.
Hmm.
It's a
All right.
solid squad.
Mike, who do you think? Who do you think's gonna have a big game when it comes to our receiving weapons? Do you think it's any one person? Do you think it's a combination?
I personally think that we should attack the middle of the field. They have some pretty good corners. Devin Witherspoon's a friggin' beast, you know. I don't know if I want to go near him. I think Hunter Henry is poised to have a big game because they do struggle covering tight ends. I know Nick Owenwari, he's going to be back and whatnot, but he kind of struggles too. Like people say that he's awesome, but I've seen him have trouble covering
Coverage
tight
wise.
ends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
specifically seen him have trouble with that. So I think it's going to be the type of game where that Steph Diggs might get bracketed or even doubled, especially because of the way we keep talking about cover six, the way that we keep talking about that, especially when everybody's looking at Drake May. They're going to have two guys bracket him in that particular area, no matter where he is on the 4 defensive side or the 2 defensive side. They're going to keep him in check. So I don't know if we can get enough time to get the long ball going with Kayshawn Booty and whatnot. So I think it's going to be more like of a seam game. And since Diggs is going to be out of the equation, it's going to be Hunter Henry.
I'd still give Diggs 4 or 5 catches though. I mean, again,
Yeah,
Devon
5
Witherspoon is
catches for
not
17 yards like last
right.
week. They were like
I mean,
all over him.
if that's what it takes to win, that's what it takes to win. I mean,
Hell yeah.
Devon Witherspoon is not Pat Surtain. He's not Derek Stingley, who, in my opinion, is a little overrated, but take it how you want it. Um, but like again, Devon Witherspoon, incredible corner. Rick Bone, you get you won't get him, you won't get by him, but if you have a good enough route, you can get some space. He's fast enough to recover, but I don't know how good he is when it comes to like the cutting and um being right on the receiver's hip, which is what Stephon Diggs is really good at, is creating that space with the route. And I think if it's Witherspoon, I think he'll have a tough day. But if it's Reek Woolen, I think give him a shot.
Yeah, 100%. They're definitely going to test these guys. They're not just going to say, okay, we're not going to throw at him. He threw at Pat Surtain. He threw at Stingley plenty of times. So they're going to test them out. I do agree with the narrative around it may not be who we think it is. It may not be our top marquee guys. I think Hunter Henry's an obvious one where you're right, Mike. I think the middle of the field has to be tested. When you're playing cover 2 on a portion of the field, you got to take a shot. You got to challenge that guy who's playing that deep half. And whether it's a combo route where you're running a fade and a post, and you say, okay, which one are you going to go to? The other thing too is I do think there will be some opportunity to take some shots deep, and I don't think it may not be a booty game in that aspect, but it could be a Kyle Williams and it could be a big play from Pop Douglas. And I say that because I think their skill set can outmatch the speed of this Seattle defense. I don't think they have top speed, top flight secondary players. I think they're all very physical. They're very bump and run, very in your face, physical type corners. But Kyle Williams is a burner to the point where we haven't even really seen his top end. And then Pop Douglas has shook free down the field more times than we all can count on non-scripted plays, right? On these plays where breaks down a little bit, Drake May scrambles a little bit. It's like 5-6 seconds. And then he just launches it deep to Pop Douglas on those non-scripted plays. So I think we could see that.
I wouldn't rule it out at all.
No, I wouldn't either. And especially, Mike, like you said, if he can get that internal clock and say 1, 2, all right, start running, and then keep your eyes downfield, but realize that you got people bearing down on you. I think also Will Campbell. I think we're seeing a better Will Campbell. Obviously, that one play where there was that cut block that he absolutely botched. Outside of that, though, he had a stellar game. He had a stellar game against Benito. I mean, for somebody coming back from injury like that and just got their ass handed to them by Will Anderson and Khalil Mack and all kinds of people prior to.
Ofa.
Yeah, and so I think he's built some confidence. He's had some more time to rest, right? I don't know. I feel like with everything going against us from an analyst, fan, NFL perspective, this is, Pat's Pro was just saying it, underdogs. That's where we want to be. I 100% agree. I love this. I think we're in that perfect Patriots 2001 dynasty situation where it's like no one's picking us. No one thinks we can win. We never get respect. And here we are. This team has so much ammo. Mike Vrabel is going to have this team so fired up. He might have them too fired up. He might have them come out. We might see I could totally see us having that Giants first half where we just absolutely are flying around with our, hair on fire.
We're gonna be foaming at the mouth,
dogs. I don't know how they can't, because Stephon Diggs is going to be absolutely lit up. He's going to be completely on fire. And like all these guys, the other angle, I forget who I was talking to about this. It might have been my buddy Ryan, but just think about all the Super Bowl and championship experience that this team has over the Seahawks. Just think about all these players and coaches. Mike Vrabel. You got Josh McDaniels.
Milton Williams.
Go on the player side. You got Milton Williams, right? I mean, he was just in the Super Bowl last year. So you got all these people in the locker room, all these people in the coaching staff that just know how to play these games and what to expect. Who can you say that about in the Seahawks organization?
I don't think anybody.
Nobody, right?
Maybe some coaches. But
maybe it's just I don't think of a team that just is so ready for this. Diggs has played in a fair amount of big games. Obviously Cooper Kupp. Yeah, probably Cooper Kupp's probably the only one I can think of that's been in a Super Bowl. Did he win? Did he win with Stafford? No.
Yeah, he won MVP that
year. Yeah. So Cooper Kupp is the only one that comes to mind to me.
I'm looking right now, seeing if there's anybody else.
So to me, it's like we got the edge there. When it comes to offense, right, we got to talk about the obvious. Jackson Smith-Njigba. You got the offensive player of the year. The guy is you cannot. I feel like I could throw 70 receptions to him and 1,000 yards. Like this guy is just anything you throw up, he's coming down with.
But how do we play him? How do we defend this guy? Because if you listen to Carlton Davis, he says that Gonzo is going to shadow him, which was a really stupid thing to say if it's
I
actually
hate
true.
that too. I don't like that he
But
said that.
I don't think it's going to come down to that. I think it's going to be a zone match scheme. That
I don't believe it either. I think it's bullshit. I think he threw that out there. I think it's bullshit.
I
I
do
think any of the
too.
top three corners could cover him. I mean, maybe Marcus Jones is going to have a tough time because of the height difference, but I think CD is good enough to cover him even
Yeah, for sure.
20% of the time.
He's
even
good enough to
20% of the
cover
time.
him, but he definitely needs help. He
Right.
needs a safety over the top. You need to
If
bracket him.
anything, I would shadow him with Marcus Jones, man. They match up the same way. They're the same size. Well, Marcus Jones is tiny, but and Jigba's like not even 6 foot. So they match up well. They have the same quick twitch instincts. And I would just shadow him with Marcus Jones, to be honest. The thing about shadowing is they put him in motion all the time. He eats in like crossers, dig routes, things across the middle, overs. He loves overs. So you have to chase him all around. That's why I say zone match, like in a cover 4. So he can just come into that zone and that guy can match him and cover him instead of Marcus Jones having to trail him the whole step the whole way. But if they have to go to man and do that, Marcus Jones would be the guy, I think, instead of Gonzalez. Gonzalez is too big. He's not quick and shifty enough to hang with Njigba.
I think
Two
what it comes
cents.
I think
That's
what it
my
comes
piece.
down to is if we can contain JSN to under 80, 90 yards, I think that's a W. I think that's
Hell
like
yeah.
the main thing. And no big touchdowns and no big, like he can assure if he catches a red zone touchdown, fine. We cannot let up a big touchdown to JSN. If we can hold them under 80, 90 yards, that's a W. If we can hold this team under 20 points, I think that's a massive W. And that's saying a lot because this is one of the most complete offenses that we've played. And I don't think Kenneth Walker is going to beat us. Now I could be wrong, but this defense was historic in the first 8 or 9 weeks of shutting out running backs, elite running backs, not just running backs.
I'm not worried about it.
Under 50 yards. I'm not either. I don't think that's how they're going to beat us. I think they're going to force Sam Darnold to throw the ball 35 plus times. I really do. I think they're going to say, all right, you're not going to beat us here. So you might want to just start throwing the ball. And especially if they get behind, I think that's when you'll start to see who Sam Darnold really is. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Is this guy is a good quarterback. He obviously showed well with the Vikings, with Justin Jefferson and Addison and TJ Hawkinson, right? All-star cast. Give him another all-star cast. He's going to do well as well. And so I think that they have the ability, but I don't know, guys. This defense to me is just absolutely elite. And I agree the Seahawks is too. But I feel that I don't know. I feel like we have a better shot to run against them, right? If you had to pick who has a better shot to run against too, I'd say the Patriots, right?
Probably us. Their rush defense is not nearly as good as ours.
Right. You got Ramondre, you got Drake May. Easily. Like it's not even a question.
Even Trey.
Right. Yeah, even Trevion, right? And granted, his pass blocking is still not up to snuff, and he doesn't necessarily find the best holes, most efficient holes. But who knows, right? He could have his game. This could be a breakout game for him where he kind of puts it all together. Either way, I'll take all three of those people over Kenneth Walker and Sam Darnold and against our rush defense. The one thing that does scare me, though, and we haven't talked about this yet, is their tight ends. And so AJ Barner is an absolute nightmare. I forget who their second tight end is.
Elijah Arroyo. He's not bad either.
Oh, Roy, he's a rookie, right?
Maybe.
Rookie or second year player?
That would make sense. I know he's not in his third year.
Yeah, we struggle against tight ends as well.
He's a rookie.
He's a rookie. He's a 6'5", 254-pound rookie. The guy's a house.
Mm-hmm.
So you got him and AJ Barner, who is who's 6'6", 251. So these guys are basically clones, athletic freak guys. If anything scares me about this offense, it's honestly these two tight ends, because JSN I feel like might get neutralized to an extent, right? And it's not like he's gonna have no catches. He'll get his, right? JSN's a phenom. But these tight ends do scare me. It makes me think of the Bills game, right? Where we got Dawson Knox. I don't know if it was Kincaid at the time, but there was like three tight ends that were just Yep. There was like three tight ends that were just absolutely brutalizing us and butchering us in the second half of that Bills game. Those guys scare me. I just don't know if we have an answer. I don't know if we have an answer to 6'5".
They're good.
6'6".
They're good up the seam. Those
And
two
red
guys.
zone. And the red zone. They beat the Rams in the red zone.
Sure, of course. But you're gonna see Craig Woodson. He's gonna cover the first tight end. If there's two on the field, you're gonna see Christian Ellis. He's gonna be the other guy, and he is pretty Craig Woodson's had a stellar rookie year. And I don't think he's absolutely that great at covering tight ends, but they have been asking him to do it. But I'd rather have him do it than Marcus Jones because they ask him to do it too a lot, and he's 5'8". And you just said these guys are absolute monsters.
He's gonna get bodied.
So I prefer that Woodson does it and Christian Ellis on the other side. But yeah, the tight ends. Look, they got Njigba, who is a stud. Cooper Kupp's come on in these playoffs. Like he's been playing well. So somebody's gonna need to check him. But yes, up the seams in the middle of the field, you got to watch out for the tight ends on this team.
Yeah, definitely.
Another name I want to mention is Marte Muffin. I think we can see him in coverage a little bit. I don't know how much playing time he'll get.
He's in the doghouse as far as the actual defense. He plays plenty on special teams, but they only put him in like incredibly specific packages, like 1 or 2 snaps a game. And yes, I personally think that he's great at covering linebackers, but they just don't play him enough for us to, get the sense that he can prove that consistently, which is a little bit of a disappointment because the kid's huge. He's like 6'3", 220, 230, and he can fly.
That's what I just read.
He can fly around the field. So I was hoping more from him this season, but Vrabel's got his rotation with the linebackers, and he doesn't really waver from that. It's a 3-man rotation of Christian Ellis, Robert Spillane, and
Tavai.
Yeah, well, no, not Tavai. Jack Gibbons. I'm sorry, Jack Gibbons.
Yeah,
not even Tavai because they've been playing Tavai on the edge. He's one of the extra edge guys now. He hasn't been playing off the ball as much because they needed depth on the edge. And when we do our draft show, we're going to talk a lot about how we need help on the edge. But no, Tavai's been helping it on the edge. But yeah, those guys need to check the tight ends for sure.
All right, boys. Well, I think it's I don't know. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about, or do we go into predictions?
No, we're freaking
I'm ready to give a prediction.
We're pumped. It's T-minus 17 hours and counting. I don't even know.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to take some like NyQuil or something and just try to knock.
I'm gonna sleep like a baby. I gotta be ready.
Think about the next show we do will be the off-season show.
I know.
This is the last show of the regular season. It's been quite a hell of a run, Joe.
You know what? It's a good point, Mike. I want to thank all the listeners. It's been a really insane year. Mike and I were talking about this last year, and both of us were kind of busy with life. And it actually took me getting laid off from my job to lean into this. And so I got about a 6-month payout from my job. So I had some time to spend time with the family and start this podcast. And Mike and I haven't looked back ever since. It's just been on the up and up every week. We've gotten better. In the beginning, we couldn't get out of the audio issues and the video issues. And oh man, it was definitely trying for sure. And it's a grind, but we love doing it. And we love all the fans, all the interactions with Aiden, plenty of other fans that we have. And then just the Pat's social media community is insane. Like between Savage, Foxborough Fellas, Pat's Planet, Pat's Pro, you name it. Mike Rodnick, right? Bryson, all these, everybody, right? And we're all coming up together, which is awesome. Like Bryson's last article he put out, he'll be on next week. He said after the Super Bowl, he's going to come on. His last article got like, I think last time I checked, it was at 2,000 likes and 500 retweets, and that thing gets national coverage. Pete was mentioned by Bill Simmons. He went from like 2,000 followers to 6,000 followers. I mean, he's blowing up. Savage is savage. I mean,
who's the other kid from UMass? I can't remember his name right now. There's a kid from UMass that's does a lot of Patriot stuff.
It's Patriots Red Zone. There's a few of them that we haven't collaborated with as much. Which next year we're going to work on that because it's such a great community. And every time I've talked to any of these people, it's like, yeah, come on our show, or we'd love to come on your show. We've had Fitzy on. We've had Hogdale, who's at the Super Bowl. Who, let's see, he said who complimented him on his Brewski jersey. I forget who it was. I'm like, I don't even. Oh,
he met Drake Maylover too.
He met Drake Maylover, but then somebody commented on his Brewski jersey. I forget. I'll remember it later. But because he's walking the red carpet over there. He's going to the Super Bowl with Portnoy. Portnoy did a clip with Malcolm Butler where they were like intercepting people walking around with Seattle coffee and redirecting them to Dunkin'. I'm like, oh my God.
I love that clip. I've been boycotting my free Starbucks at school this week. Like the first time I went to it was when I got it with work. Like
yeah. Honestly, it's great. We're so lucky. We're blessed, guys. Let's just face it. We had Tom Brady, then we had Mac Jones, then we had I don't even know. A bunch of other
Cam Newton,
right? Exactly. And here we are.
Zappy.
We're back in it. We got a franchise quarterback. We got a franchise coach of the year. We got Josh McDaniels, Zach Kerr. We haven't given enough flowers to Zach Kerr. If Zach Kerr keeps his team under 20 points, boys, holy shit. Like that man
dials it up. That kid dials it up, man.
He's kept everybody on their toes, everybody confused, all playoffs. Everyone's saying it.
I really want to know what Terrell Williams would have been able to do. I want to know if it would have been more or less or the same. Honestly, I'd love to see them be co-defensive coordinators next year. I know they really don't do that very often, if at all. But I think that would just be fun, just to same like we were talking about Kyle Pitts, just do it 1 year just to try it, have fun with it.
Yeah,
I just feel like this Zach Kerr kid is a younger kid, and he dials up more exotic stuff than the older fellow would have done. That's my own personal opinion. Like, I hate the guy had like health scares and all that stuff, but I don't want him calling the plays on Sunday. I want Zach Kerr doing it, and he's not going to
make any changes right now. They definitely won't make any
changes. Yeah, no. He's not going to call the plays. He's going to be there. You know what I mean? But Zach Kerr is going to be the one spinning the dial. So that kid's kind of a goofball too, but he's like an idiot savant genius when it comes to defensive game planning. So I personally think he's our new defensive coordinator moving forward indefinitely. Like if they can have the OC, the DC, and the head coach all squared away indefinitely, we would be all squared away. Oof. Who knows about Josh McDaniels? If somebody's dumb enough to offer him a head coaching job and he takes it, that'll be a big blow. But it's not happening in this cycle, so he'll be back next year.
I was hearing from 98.5, I forget it was EI or 98.5, and I forget who was saying it, but they were saying in house maybe that they're thinking about maybe moving on anyway. And I'm like, wait, what? Where are they getting this from?
He's one of, if not the best offensive coordinators. He's 0 for 4, the head coach, right? Raiders, Broncos twice, and he was somewhere else. He was going back to the Raiders. Like, again, he's one of the best offensive coordinators in the league. I don't care that he had Tom Brady and now has Drake May. There's only so much you can do.
I don't get it. I don't understand that. Kyle Razowitz, high school buddy, I played basketball with him. Obnoxious Pats fans tuning in, Joe. Kyle, if we win, you're coming on next week. Mark that in your calendar. Next week, we are coming on. And before we do our predictions, I'm playing this goddamn video one more time, and then we'll do our predictions.
Be violent, man. Be smart. But when in doubt, crash the out. It's up towards them, man. Ain't nobody like us. Ain't nobody believing us. I like us, man. Go lay it on the line for your brother, man. Hey, this is what we grind for. Every man in this room, man. Every man in this huddle. Leave it on him. Bill, I ain't come this far just to come this far. Treat every play like it's your last. Today about being aggressive and sticking together, and we're gonna take what we want, man. Hey, I came to fight. I don't know about y'all, but I came to fight. From play 1 to play 9. We all we got. We all we need. Play hard, play smart. Offense, let's go beat us. Defense, special teams. If it don't got a blue jersey on, take that. Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I want to run through one.
Oh my lord!
That don't get you amped, and I don't know what does.
I don't know what it is. The part where Gonzo shows his grill and he's kind of like this, and he just shows his grill.
Yeah.
The whole team just looks mean as fuck. I hope they come out and they play like they did against the Giants, but then they just do that the whole game, and they just are flying around the field, knocking people's decals off their helmet, knocking fucking Sam Darnold off his ass. Like, oh my God, please come out fired up. Please come out like you did against the Giants and just play that way the whole fucking game.
The choke probability of Darnold is high. That's all I'll say about that.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm not a believer. Fucking, he's going to be seeing some ghosts. That's all I got to say. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Aiden.
Put pressure on him. He's seeing ghosts.
Prediction time, Aiden. Go.
The thing I've been going all week is 31-27 Patriots. I think Drake May has 2 total touchdowns. I think we get 1 out of 1 of the running backs, and I think we probably get a trick play or some other touchdown.
Okay. Defensive trick play, something.
Yeah. I think Seattle gets a field goal early. I think we were talking about it earlier. I think they go up 10 at most. And then we storm back. We're a second half team. I know that doesn't always work, but guess what? We're 17-3. So there's really not much you can say to go against that. And then I think it's going to be an offensive game. I know how good both of our defenses are. I think our offenses are just going to play better. I think they're going to be incredibly well coached, and I think both teams are preparing the offenses more than they're preparing the defenses, in my opinion. And just for a half a second, I just want to make mention on Gonzo. I learned the other day that if he wasn't so good at football and hadn't gotten a scholarship in Oregon to play football, he would have been in culinary school, which I think is really cool because that's what I'm doing. So
that's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
right.
He was a basketball player too, though, right? Was he basketball or baseball? I think it was basketball.
Think so. So yeah, my 31-27 Patriots. But again, I wouldn't be surprised no matter what happens. Could be defensive, could be offensive.
All right, I like it. All right, Mike, what do you got?
This is going to be tough. I obviously favor the Patriots. I'm going to go 24-20. I think that it's going to be a dogfight. We're going to trade body blows for the majority of the game. Somebody's going to turn the ball over. There's going to be a couple of mistakes, and there's going to be a couple of officiating issues. But I think that we score one more touchdown than they do. And this is all contingent on, we can talk about Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, but how about Drake? Because he looks like he's been seeing ghosts the past couple weeks. Let's just call spades spades. So if the kid just retains his pocket presence and makes the downfield throws that he needs to make, I see us winning this game because I have faith in our defense. Our defense is really gelling right now at the perfect time. And I think I'm not afraid of Seattle's offense, man. I'm not afraid of Sam Darnold. I'm not afraid of JSN. We can neutralize both those people with the proper game plan. And I always say that, but as long as they have the proper game plan on both sides of the ball, I think we have as much of a shot as anybody. And I think everybody, I was looking on ESPN, they have 30 people on that panel, and 27 of them picked the damn Seahawks. I'm like, how can you not look at this game as a toss-up? How much better do you think the Seahawks really are?
Right.
Because just because they're dogs, guess what? What do we have? Puppies? We ain't got puppies. We got freaking dogs over here.
Yeah.
So
I'm
these
hearing that
guys,
we're gonna get walloped. So
they're coming out with a chip on their shoulder. There's going to be hell to pay, and I know we're going to prevail, and it's going to be glorious.
So you said 24-20. Is that yours?
24-20. They're going to get 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. We're going to get 3 touchdowns and a field goal. And our extra touchdown is going to be the difference when they have to kick a field goal and we score a touchdown. That's the difference in the game.
I like it, Mike. All right. For my prediction, I'm going to go 27-20. So I think that our defense is going to come out, and we're going to come out hard, and we're going to come out strong. This defense has played 60 minutes of football this entire playoffs. And I can't say that about the offense, but I can say that about the defense. But give Drake May solid conditions in Santa Clara. We're talking 70 degrees, balmy weather. He's out there just stroking the football, boys. Let's be honest. He's doing what Drake May does, and he's stroking the football. And I'm not saying he's not going to have a pick. I'm not saying he's not going to maybe have a fumble. Who knows? He may turn the ball over. But I think at the end of the day, he's going to get what he wants in this game, and it's going to be the open man against this zone. Call it cover 6, call it cover 4. They're going to play some cover 2, right? I don't care what they play. I think Drake May's going to be here to play. Does he come out shaky? Who knows? But I think you're going to see 2 things. I think you're going to see Josh McDaniels opening this thing up. He's going to open up the playbook because guess what? He didn't get to do that against the Broncos in this high altitude.
The time is now. He can open it all up.
The time is now. Anything you got in that playbook of yours that you've been stashing away, use it. Drake May has every inch of the field, at his fingertips for the team to have to cover, right? He can go to the flats. He can rush. He can pass it deep, make them defend every single blade of grass, take out all your trick plays, do what you got to do, be creative because you've been here before. And guess what? You've done it before. You've done it plenty of times and plenty of playoff games. We are the most experienced coach team probably ever in Super Bowl history. Let's be honest. Between games coached and games played, there's no coaching staff in the entire league that has more coaching experience or playing experience in this type of atmosphere. So give me the Patriots all day long. I think we're going to have a great podcast next week, boys. What do you think?
hell yeah.
I love it.
All right. My brother says May's throwing for over 400 yards, the eternal optimist. My brother Ryan.
Gee whiz. All right. That's going a little out of bounds.
He's an animal. All right, boys.
I would love it.
I would love it too. As Mike said, this is our last in-season episode, which is wild to say. Aiden, thank you for coming on and thank you for being a mega fan.
Thank you for having me back for a 3rd time. I hope to be back before the draft, but I'll obviously see you at the draft if I don't.
Absolutely,
or at the draft party.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, as always, let's go, Pats, and
Go Pats.
let's fucking go.
Go, boys.
See you at the
Big
Super
time
Bowl
stuff.
tomorrow, boys.
Big time stuff tomorrow.